Hello, I'm Dr. Swati Naik. Welcome for MQR AICUG TV live from Bhubaneswar with therightdoctors.com. I'm privileged to have with me none other than Dr. Rishma Pai ma'am.
Hello.
Thank you so much ma'am for joining us on MQR AICUG TV. I don't think any one of us needs an introduction of her. She's been such a magnificent, charismatic personality who has led the Foxy year in 2017 and 18 with such a fabulous initiatives, and I think she has a lot to share with us, her experience in this tenure. She has also been selected as a ISAR and IAGE President-elect. Congratulations for that,
Thank you,
ma'am.
thank you.
And she is a senior consultant at Jaslok Hospital and the Lilavati Hospital in Mumbai. She is a director of Every Woman Clinic at Kames Corner, Bandra, Mumbai. I have heard a lot about her patient care, that she attends each and every of her patient personally. So there is always a personal touch she gives to each and every patient who enters in her clinic. So that shows her devotion towards her obstetrics and gynecology. Thank you so much joining us, ma'am. We would be wanting to know from you the experience that you had as a Foxy president for the last year, as well as we would be bothering you for one of the important topic of infertility management, that's PCOS and infertility.
Sure.
So let me begin with the first, that how has been the experience, what's the feeling? There will be a lot of emotions that would be coming out.
Of course. I think it's been obviously one of the most memorable years of my life. A year that I'll cherish forever. A year that I really prepared for, worked very hard for, traveled extensively, lots and lots of sleepless nights, high stress at times, but also some beautiful moments of meeting wonderful people across the length and breadth of the country, making so many new friends, having a platform to actually execute so many ideas and thoughts that I had, not only on the academic front, but on the social front. And so I think I've made a small contribution towards bringing about a change in how Foxy works for people and in how people perceive Foxy. I think that's very important. I set out thinking that unfortunately in India today, doctors are not being given the respect that they should be given, and there's something that is lacking in communication and the sort of message that we're sending out to people. And so this whole year, over and above the wonderful academic work that we did 14 large focused conferences for Yuva Foxys. We did more than 230 workshops on focus subjects. We brought about 8 Foxy focuses. So we did a lot of academic work. But over and above that, my focus was, let us try to give back to society. Till now, Foxy has never focused on that aspect very much. But I thought we needed to show the other side of Foxy. And so for the first time, we made a slogan for Foxy: medical excellence, compassionate care. I think that kind of spelt out what was my plan for the year. We reached out to many schools. It was a very fulfilling program called the YES program, Youth Education and Service. And we went to 150 schools. We touched almost 25,000 youngsters, giving them simple, basic day-to-day life health messages. And that was really wonderful. Then I thought communication is so important. And so for the first time, we got out 3 new newsletters this time, reaching out, Foxy Connect and Times of Gynecology. And in many of these newsletters, we actually showcase the work of the gynecologists, their talents, their extraordinary achievements. It's not about me talking to people all the time. It's also me representing them, showcasing their wonderful achievements. So I think that we tried to involve a lot more doctors. I think that's most fulfilling, because during the course of this AICUG, I had many people come out and say that for the first time they felt very connected. They felt that they were part of it. They wanted to do things. Many people identified with my theme for the year: She Matters, Care, Educate, Transform. They took on projects on themselves by, they said, I want to do this, She Matters is such a wonderful thing, I want to do this for She Matters, I want to do that for She Matters. So we had lots and lots of activities focused around She Matters during the year. Couple of things which are very special. One thing is, for the first time, Foxy is now more than 60 years old. For the first time, Foxy has gone international. We have opened the first international chapter of Foxy in London, the London chapter of Foxy. Lots of hurdles we faced to get there, but this is the beginning, and I'm sure the world is going to open up and Foxy is going to spread its arms and its reach all over the world. So that I think is something which is very special to me, that in my tenure I could take Foxy international. Another thing which is very, very special and very close to my heart is the launch of the Nari Swasthya Pehel, or the Women's Health Initiative. I launched this the day I took over in Ahmedabad last year, and through the year, this is a program which has everybody has taken to heart. We've done more than 100 free camps for women all over the country. We've done free BMIs, BMDs, cancer screenings, breast examinations, cervical cancer checking. Lots and lots of doctors have gotten involved. They've done it in their own societies. And this particular project, we had the blessings of Health Minister, that time Mr. Kolaste. Many members of Parliament have said to me, come and do this in our constituency. So this has been a wonderful program, and we've showcased this and showed to the people that we care, we are compassionate about them. So everywhere this year we celebrated Population Day, never been done before. We celebrated Yoga Day, and again for the first time in so many years of Foxy, Foxy Day, when Foxy was formed on 6th of January, was celebrated throughout the country. Every society did something on Foxy Day, and I told all of them, I said, bring it into the media, show it in the newspapers, talk on the radio, have rallies, have camps, let the country know what Foxy stands for. So I think we've managed to really reach out to a lot of people, and because I was so touched by this program, I've decided to take the Nari Swasthya Pehel as my 3-year program. For the next 3 years, I will continue to work for the service, health, taking care of women, and doing it absolutely free of cost.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing all those wonderful initiatives. I mean, I can definitely say that your relentless work and your direction has taken a Foxy to a different level on an international platform, and absolutely a new initiative. We're talking about an international connect. So there is a long way to go, along with you being a president-elect for this Indian Society of ART, and I think in terms of in the segment of infertility also, we would have a lot of such new initiatives, and definitely our Indian population, they don't have to go out of India for having baby.
Yes.
I think definitely. Ma'am, after this, what's new on your plate? Like, what's your new vision for the coming year with the being a president?
This year has been such a learning experience also for me. I've realized there's so many voids, so many deficiencies, so much needs to be done. Like I said, in Foxy, we had so many areas where our doctors are struggling, they're having so many difficulties. There's a lot of focus on cesarean section, how doctors are doing unnecessary cesarean sections. A lot of slandering is happening, that we are doing operations for money. And so a lot of connections we formed with the government, we are in conversation with them all the time. All these things need to be worked out. Somewhere we have to understand what we are doing, somewhere they have to understand that what we are doing is not wrong. So we have to come to a middle ground. In many areas, in the field of abortions, MTPs, lots of controversies, a lot of these young girls getting pregnant with rape, not being allowed to terminate the pregnancies, you have to go to court for everything. So these are areas, PCPNDT Act, lots of doctors are suffering because of unnecessary harassment by authorities because they've not filled a form. So there are many areas in which doctors are suffering. The area of violence against doctors, it is becoming commonplace. Why is this happening? Why are the people losing faith or trust in the doctors? Are we responsible, or are their expectations unreal from us? So I think there is so much to do in every area of gynecology also, because we are the people who actually cater to the maximum population, all the women, and with the women, their husbands, their families. So I think we are the people who can really reach out and touch the maximum number of people. So there's lots and lots to be done, and now that I'll be soon taking over as president of ESAR and IAG, I hope that I can work in these focused areas also to try to improve the condition of women, try to contribute something that we can improve the health of the women of our country.
Phenomenal, ma'am. I mean, this really incredible work that you have already done, and you are just waiting for the next year again to perform with sleepless nights. Very good to know that. And I think we all, the clinicians and obstetricians and gynecologists of country and the entire society is looking forward for your guidance on that.
Thank you.
Apart from that, being an expert and a founder of infertility practice, infertility treatment in India, and I have myself come to Lilavati Hospital and seen the state of the art the unit for the infertility management, both at Jaslok as well as Lilavati Hospital. So one of the important topic in infertility is PCOS. So PCOS and infertility. I don't think when I recollect my MBBS days, way back in 1992 to 94, we haven't heard of so much of PCOS. But today we hear a lot of PCOS in youngs and young childbearing age group women as well as in a young girl.
Yes.
So how do we tackle that? First of all, what is the percentage in our population? And let us discuss further on that.
I think polycystic ovarian syndrome has become really, really commonplace. It's really what I call an epidemic right now. Almost every third young woman that we see, that is almost 30 to 35% of young women today are suffering from some form of polycystic ovarian syndrome. The severity of it may differ. Some may have the entire syndrome of every single symptom with acne and hirsutism and hair fall and obesity and anovulation, irregular periods and infertility. So some may have the entire spectrum, and then some may just show some of the features. But it has become so commonplace that now patients are diagnosing by themselves. They come saying, "Doctor, I am suffering from PCOS." So it's a huge problem, and I think really a major contributing factor is the lifestyle, because unfortunately all the youngsters today are eating a lot of junk food, having a very sedentary lifestyle, going through a lot of stress. There's a lot of obesity coming on. So the whole lifestyle, moving away from nature, sitting on the laptop, sitting on the computer, on the phones, everything has really changed, and we've seen that changing with the increasing incidence of PCOS.
Ma'am, how do we diagnose it at the earliest? There are different classifications. I have read
I
about
think
them,
most people stick to modified Rotterdam's criteria, where 2 out of 3 of the typical
Criteria,
symptoms should be there, either ultrasound picture or some evidence of anovulation or some evidence of hyperandrogenism. So and you really don't require to do many tests. It's not recommended that you do hundreds of hormonal tests, and it's not required. Most of the time when the girl walks into your clinic, just looking at her you can determine that she has PCOS, or just hearing her history or understanding her problem, you know that she has PCOS. So you don't really need to do a big battery of tests.
So in such cases of PCOS and coming to you with the infertility, do you offer them an IVF treatment, or do you give a trial of something called
I think IVF is really the last thing that they have to resort to. Lot of times we can manage with very simple treatment, starting of course with the very basic weight loss and lifestyle change. Very easy to say, very difficult to do. Weight loss is not easy, but if you really sort of give them that, charge them up and give them the support, tell them that they can do it, take the help of a dietitian, work out, exercise, and sort of motivate them, and then maybe give them some medication to help them lose weight, I think it goes a long way. Lifestyle change, very, very important. And very often with simple medication, just regularization of periods, maybe just some ovulation stimulation drugs, monitoring of follicles and proper timed intercourse, or even an intrauterine insemination, a large number of them just become pregnant. So the ones who are going to become pregnant easily do so within just a couple of months, and it's really not difficult. But the resistant ones are really a challenge, because there are some PCOS patients who do not respond to any oral medication at all. Not only when you oral medication, when you go on to gonadotropin stimulation also, sometimes they do not respond at all. And most gynecologists are a little scared of starting gonadotropins in PCOS patients, because sometimes they really hyperstimulate very, very badly. So if a girl is coming with a AMH level of 7 or 8, you're very worried about the number of follicles she will grow when you start gonadotropin stimulation. And so one has to be really very, very careful how you manage these patients. And soft protocols, very minimal stimulation, very, very gradual increase in the level of gonadotropins, very, very controlled ovarian stimulation is the way forward. And so definitely a small percentage of these girls do need to undergo IVF treatment in whom the simple treatment fails. And IVF gives really excellent results in PCOS patients, because they are otherwise healthy, they have a good uterus, they have everything good. It's just that the whole hormonal issue is bothering them. So with the support of some good drugs, with insulin sensitizing agents sometimes, with a combination of minoxidil, decarbenoxidil sometimes, with ovarian stimulation, oral injectables, we are able to get good quality eggs, and then IVF in these patients really gives excellent results.
Oh, ma'am, is there any, like, if I understand that it would be a long process, so one has to have a good patience in the line of treatment of PCOS with infertility and give
Yes.
them the different line of treatment. So, how do we, what would be the do's and don'ts you would advise to your fellow gynecologist when they are managing a PCOS patient?
I also feel sometimes you stretch the patients too much. You know, if you keep on giving them, for example, an oral ovulation stimulation drug, or you keep on doing IUIs and you do 10 IUIs, you can't expect the patient to also go through that. It's very traumatic for them. So you also need to set time limits right at the beginning with the patient, that you know what, I give you 3 months. Go home, change your lifestyle, lose weight, not too much, 5% of your body weight, do some weight loss, come back to me. Then we'll actively start treatment. Then we'll give you 3 months in which we'll give you ovarian stimulation, we'll do follicle monitoring, we'll do planned relations, or we'll do IUI. If in that 3 months you don't become pregnant, we'll go on to more advanced treatment. So if you give them a time frame, they also know. So I often tell my patients, this year we'll get you pregnant anyhow. So when you know that, then they also charged up. But if it's endless, hundreds of follicle studies, 10,000 visits to the gynecologist, endless treatments, they also get frustrated. So I think we also need to understand their emotional trauma, their physical discomfort that they go through, and we need to kind of time and limit also the extent of the treatment.
Right, I think that gets a very crisp message that we don't have to stretch it to the level that it
Yeah,
breaks.
the patient is
So
traumatized.
if there are the methods available wherein we can get the baby for a couple, and then where the patient is suffering from PCOS, and we must opt for it in the due course of
Yeah,
the life.
and the good thing is that I think in almost all cases we are able to achieve success. Few patients, you may need a laparoscopic drilling of the follicles. Few patients, very, very small number. Most of the time with advanced fertility treatments, we can get almost every patient with PCOS pregnant. So I think that's a very strong message to give the patients that almost always we can succeed in giving a baby. So when you encourage them and you give them that optimism, I think we see results.
I think we must say that it is not as bad as endometriosis, because in endometriosis the hope
Very
is very poor. But PCOS women, it's a message for each and every one of us that the PCOS women no need to lose hope.
Yes.
So some or the other means they can get pregnant, and we can give that service to our patients. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful views on related to FOXY activities, your future plans, as well as on PCOS. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure
Thank
to
you.
be with you.